Hello. I'm filming this on February 8th, 2026. In 9 days, the year of the Fire Horse will begin. February 17th, 2026. A lot of momentum, action is expected. Currently, we are in a transition period, a time of stillness. But I have been noticing lately some shifts in anticipation of what lies ahead in the year of the Fire Horse. If I'm feeling this shift, you very likely feel it as well. Now, what I'm talking about in terms of shift is a shift in how you are feeling. You may be feeling more calm, and I have been feeling more calm, I don't know, for the past few months maybe, since late 2026 perhaps. But even then, leading up to this current point in my journey, I still experienced a lot of tension, anxiety, especially when it came to matters of money and finances. Basically, this feeling of stability or feeling unstable. But I noticed a shift very recently. And I think that is a sign that indeed changes are about to begin. Positive changes, more stability will appear in our lives, in our reality. And why this is happening is because we feel more stable within. We have been able to attain inner stability and peace, even when there seems to be chaotic energies happening in the world and in our immediate experiences. We have cultivated the ability to be the calm in the storm. 333 when I looked at the timer. Okay. Now, there is a possibility, especially when you have been so used to living in lack, having a scarcity mindset, especially when it comes to money and your financial security. But because you are intuitive, you can feel the energy that is prevalent in the collective at this time. We can feel, without seeing physical evidence of it, that big changes, big transformations are about to enter our realities, our personal realities. And there may be a part of you that feels overwhelmed. At least your mind does. The mind that has been programmed by the by living in the matrix of limitation. That mind, the survival instinct mind, may feel overwhelmed, may feel like you will not be able to handle all the blessings that are about to appear in your reality. And we're going to focus on finances, stability. It all bleeds together, just this feeling of stability. And money. Money is very big. It's a very big energy that impacts our feeling of stability and safety in this world. But what I've been noticing, despite the occasional thoughts, those old paradigm thought loops of anxiety around aspects of money, feeling like I always have to guard my finances, I have been noticing that I'm feeling more peaceful, especially within the past 2 days. It's been noticeable. The shift has been noticeable enough for me to notice. And I think this is a mini preview (717) when I looked at the timer. This is a mini preview of the life that I came here to live. A life of ease. And if you found this video, you likely have the same dream, to live a life of ease. You don't know how. I certainly don't know how. But we have learned to surrender the how to the universe, to source. We're just following our I was going to say internition, I don't know. Intuition. There's just this inner knowing that that's what we came here to do. To live a life of ease. To enjoy all that life has to offer. So instead of overwhelming us, because there is a very charged energy right now in the collective of big changes coming. But I've been noticing just these little mini previews. See how much grace the universe has. They're giving you little breadcrumbs, little hints, mini previews of what you can expect. Proof or confirmation that you're in a new paradigm, that you actually have released the past. You're in a new timeline, the timeline of ease. And confirmation that those past fear-based versions of yourself are dissolving or are fading away is through these mini previews that you may be experiencing. If you haven't experienced any yet, let this video serve as a preview of what you can expect. It's going to look different for you. I will share a couple of my own personal examples, but what you experience will be different, most likely, right? Okay. So what I've noticed, for example, when I went to a bookstore yesterday, and I went to the New Age section, the New Age aisle, looking at oracle decks and tarot decks, and usually I would look at the prices and, try to calculate, try to add up, how many I can buy at one time, and usually I end up getting just one deck. Yesterday, I think I got about like 4 decks, and I noticed that I didn't feel this feeling of anxiety in my chest that I usually do. I was peaceful. And today, I went to a crystal store to look at crystals, and I bought a few items. And I noticed at the end of my transaction, there was a singing bowl that the salesperson was using to clear the energy for the crystals that I was buying, the crystals and tarot decks. And I really liked the sound of it. It reverberated for a really prolonged time. I happen to have a singing bowl myself, but it doesn't last that long, the reverberation. And so, yeah, they only had that one bowl for store use. They didn't have one on sale on the shelf. So, but the desire entered my mind. I wanted that singing bowl. It's $150. That is not a price tag that I would normally invest in a singing bowl. But I really liked it. And in the past, I probably would have been like, okay, yeah, no. Forget it. I already have one singing bowl. Why do I need another one? But I noticed something different about my attitude this time. I want it. And basically, my attitude is, yeah, I want it. It's already mine. There is no separation between me and that singing bowl. Me and that singing bowl, we are one. And in the past, yeah, like I said, it wouldn't even enter my mind. After they, told me the price, I would have been like, oh, okay, thank you. But this time, my attitude was different. And that is because my vibration is different. And that is a sign. That is communication. That was communication from my highest self, from Source. That I have grown, that I have shifted. Now, when I think about that singing bowl, in the past, I may have longed for it, and even that word makes me, it almost feels like it's coming from a place of not having, a vibration of not having, a vibration of lack. But at this point, when I think of that singing bowl, that handmade brass singing bowl, with that beautiful soothing sound and prolonged reverberation, I feel excited to have that in my possession. I don't feel like I am lacking or longing. My desire to have that singing bowl is coming from a vibration of excitement, like a child anticipating opening her presents on Christmas Day or on her birthday, as opposed to feeling a sense of dread of not being able to afford it or just guilting myself. Hearing that critical voice in my mind saying, oh, why do you need another singing bowl? You don't need another singing bowl. What if something happens? You could use that money for something else that's more essential. But those kinds of thoughts did not swirl in my mind. So that's how I know that I have shifted. So you may be experiencing something like this, feeling less anxious or not anxious at all when it comes to buying things. And I'm not talking about, major things either, right? I'm not talking about buying a car. Or furniture. But when you are so used to feeling in lack and living in survival mode, it just kicks in. It doesn't matter what the item may be. It could be as small as a cup of coffee. Your programmed mind just kicks into survival mode. Okay. Now there may be other reasons why you may receive just mini previews before more blessings appear in your life. And I wrote here, this preview I think is also a way of measuring our growth to ourselves. And it's a way of showing ourselves and the universe how we respond when we receive blessings. So-called, quote, minor blessings. Just the little things. For example, receiving a free cup of coffee from the barista at a cafe, let's just say. How do you respond? Would you view that as communication, a blessing from Source? Indeed, do you feel grateful and see the multiple ways that the universe communicates with you, letting you know that you are seen and that all is a part of Source? I had an example today. I went to a store looking at crystals, and I wanted to buy some incense. And the person who worked there, he gave me a discount on my purchases. I was delighted. I did a little dance. He didn't have to do that. And I think that, yes, that was a lesson of showing and expressing gratitude and appreciation, but also afterwards just reflecting on what happened. I just thought about how, indeed, I mean, everyone and everything is Source. That gentleman is Source personified, just like I am. And Source was blessing me through this store owner. So that may be a shift that you're noticing in yourself as well. And you likely already felt this before, but just seeing the divine in everything and everyone, but that feeling may be increasing. So your unity consciousness, your sense of interconnectedness, this understanding of our interconnectedness is growing. And sometime after I came home, after I bought the incense, and I was listening to a video on YouTube on Lilith, Sophia, and Mary Magdalene. I don't know much about Lilith at all, nothing about Sophia. I've certainly heard of Mary Magdalene. But there was a line that caught my attention, which reflected what I was feeling about this exchange between myself and the store owner who gave me the discount on my purchases. And here's the quote from the video about Lilith, Sophia, and Mary Magdalene. And they were talking about sacred daily practices. And one of them is the sacred practice of recognizing and honoring the sacred within ordinary experience. So that may be something that you're noticing in yourself. Recognizing and honoring the sacred within ordinary experience. And they gave examples like blessing your food before eating your food, expressing gratitude for your body's service, or finding beauty in unexpected places. So your sense of awe, appreciation in life, and the divinity in others. And I wrote here, and it's a quote from the video, "These practices cultivate the capacity to see divine presence within material existence rather than seeking it only in transcendent realms," right? Seeing the divine in the mundane moments. Okay. There's something else that I wanted to talk about, but I'm not sure if it's going to make sense in the regarding the direction that I headed into. So maybe I'll talk about that in another video. Okay. Almost half an hour. Oh, okay. All right. So, just to summarize, try to summarize what I said. Big changes are coming, but it is possible that before those big changes, as an example, let's say, like meeting the love of your life. Before that happens, for example, you may already be experiencing all these little so-called mundane experiences. But these are lessons, right? It shows the universe how we'll respond. To the bigger blessings, by seeing how we respond to the so-called smaller lessons or the smaller blessings. Are we still able to appreciate, feel blessed, even when we receive those so-called minor blessings? And it's communication confirmation to ourselves that we have indeed shifted. Showing ourselves, well, how do we respond when we receive blessings? Do we feel guilty? Do we feel unworthy? Or can we just receive with grace and appreciation? And with awe at how the universe works so serendipitously, even in those so-called mundane moments and mundane ways. Okay, all right. So let's use one of the decks that I bought today at the crystal store. This is the Angel Tarot cards by Bradley Valentine. Six of Earth, so that would be Six of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Giving and receiving. All right. Oh my goodness. Gifts of money, time, or effort. Gifts. new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think that's kind of, or pretty, kind of synchronistic with what I was talking about, right? Beautiful. Okay, Six of Earth, that would be the Six of Pentacles. Yeah. Giving and receiving. Balanced exchange of energies. Let me read that again. Gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities. Receiving a loan or paying off debts. Okay, here you go. And so it is. We will receive it with so much gratitude. Thank you, Source. Thank you, magical universe. Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you. Take care.